to my channel for another pregnancy update. I am officially 10 weeks today. Finally in the double digits. I am so excited to start my second trimester. It's not my second trimester yet, but I'm just really glad that I'm finally in double digits. It's really exciting to me. I'm going to try to keep this video kind of short and sweet, but I'm going to start with my symptoms. I have been experiencing migraines, which I normally get, so this is pretty typical for me. It's my third day having a migraine now. Morning sickness, which doesn't really occur just in the morning. It gets a lot worse at night. So it's kind of flip-flop for me, which I think is kind of a good thing, so I could just sleep it off. But it also helped, like, what am I trying to say? I have a much harder time trying to fall asleep, especially with these migraines that I'm having. But that's with my morning sickness. Food aversions, it's still, I cannot stand meat, but I try my best to eat it because I know my body needs it and the baby needs it. So I kind of just deal with it. For some reason I can't eat salad, which is something I really should be eating. I tried eating it once and I just gagged it up. It was ew, yeah, it was bad. But yeah, that's my food aversions right now. I have been experiencing what I think might be Braxton Hicks. I am not sure, but I have heard from a doctor that I talked to that they actually start pretty early on in pregnancy, but with your second baby it's different. You can start feeling things differently, and it could be 100 times different than your last pregnancy. So what I'm experiencing is Braxton Hicks, but they kind of have calmed down a little bit. I've had them the past 3 days, and they seem like they're getting much better. I don't know what that was all about. Just my body doing its thing, I guess. But that's one of my symptoms. I have been experiencing round ligament pains on both sides where my uterus is located. My belly is getting bigger. I will show you that here in a little bit. My lower back, I've noticed my lower back is really hurting. And I might just be the increasing size of, you know, this area, which kind of sucks because it just puts a lot more strain on my back, and of course my growing uterus, it's going to put a little bit more strain on my back too. So that's probably the exact reason why my lower back's hurting. So I've got that going on. I've been like kind of stuffy, like my nose, runny and stuffy at the same time, just kind of random. It's hard to tell if it's allergies or my pregnancy. It's probably both. Playing around with both, but I've been kind of congested. I think that is mostly it with my symptoms. I can't really think of anything else at the top of my head, but I do know that you know, all these symptoms, they seem pretty normal. I haven't had any bleeding, which if you guys have watched my previous pregnancy update, I have said that I've had bleeding in my very early pregnancy, like around 6 weeks, so about a month ago. So, I actually had a subchorionic hemorrhage. If you guys would like, you guys can catch up on my previous video about that. But I'm actually having because today's Saturday, I'm having a follow-up appointment this coming week, this Thursday, August 24th. And I'm going to have another ultrasound, which will be my kind of like 11-week prenatal appointment. It's my first official prenatal appointment, even though I've been a few times already. But they're going to check and see if that bleeding has disappeared, and you know, when that time comes, I will definitely show you those sonogram pictures and talk all about my appointments, or my appointment that day, which I'm very excited for, and it's killing me. This whole month, I just want to know if the baby's okay, which I'm sure, because my belly's getting a little bit bigger. I still feel very pregnant. I believe I'm feeling little flutters, and you know, with having a baby already, I feel like I can just distinguish, you know, the baby moving and gas. And I feel like I'm feeling the baby moving. It's just like little, it just feels like little butterflies are in my uterus. Just, you know, because I mean, it's small right now. So, I mean, you know, typically women can't feel it, especially during the first pregnancy, I have heard. But yeah, this pregnancy is very different from my first. Last pregnancy, I didn't really feel that pregnant. I really didn't. This one, I really feel the hormones rushing through me. I've been very emotional lately. That's another symptom right there. Like, I would just get random, just emotional outbursts, just crying for some reason. You know, it's not for, like, a dumb reason either. It's for a legitimate reason, you know. So, I mean, it's just been amplified. All my situations that, you know, I have experienced, you know, it just make me cry more, you know? You guys know what I mean. So that's my symptoms. 6 minutes of symptoms, I'm sorry. But I'm trying to keep this short, but it's not really working very well. So I apologize. So, I'm going to start on how the baby's doing. So, this is what I purchased when we started trying, when we first started trying to have a baby. It's what to expect when you're expecting, and I highly recommend this book. It is very awesome. I do love having my apps, but I am a book reader, and I like having the material at hand and, you know, highlighting things, you know. This isn't what the baby looks like now, but that's what it will look like when I'm officially 3 months pregnant. So, like, let's say, you know what I mean. You know, this is like at 13 weeks pregnant, I believe. Yeah, that's the end of my 3rd month. So, when I'm officially 3 months, I am in my 3rd month window. I'm technically only like 2 months pregnant. So, okay, what it says about the baby, it says, at nearly 1.5 inches long, about the size of a prune, so which would probably be, maybe like, might be wrong, maybe like this big. It says, your baby has officially graduated now from an embryo to a fetus, which I think is really, really interesting because, or really, not interesting, well, interesting too, but very exciting as well, because that means that my miscarriage rate has dropped significantly, has decreased, you know, and that's something that I'm very, very thankful for, because I had scares, like I've talked about previously. So that's something it's like kind of like a little celebration for me. So there's that, and it says it is growing by leaps and bounds. So it means it's like just growing so fast, which just blows my mind. And it says, and it's gearing up for those first steps and bounds, baby steps. Bones and cartilage are forming, and small indications on the legs are developing into knees and ankles. So it's got joints, so it's like it's moving around, you know, kicking its legs. So that's why I feel like I'm feeling it. So, even if it's just the size of a prune, the elbows on the baby's arms, are already working. Tiny buds of baby teeth are forming. So it doesn't actually have teeth, but it's got like buds. You know what I mean? Like a newborn, you know, doesn't have teeth, but you have to have like teeth underneath your gums. You know, getting ready to grow. So there's that, and it says further down, the stomach is producing digestive juices, the kidneys are producing larger quantities of urine, and if your baby's a boy, he's already producing testosterone. And it says here, boys will be boys, even this early on, which I thought was really interesting, especially if I'm having a girl, which I feel like I'm having a girl, but I could be wrong. I was right before. I felt like I was having a boy when I was pregnant with my first child, and he turned out being a boy. But I've been reading like a girl would be producing her why am I saying that? Her ovaries are developing, and she's also creating eggs already. So what's interesting is the eggs that we release, when we ovulate, those eggs were created when we were in our mother's stomach. You know, when we were fetuses, and it's just, I think that's extremely interesting and mind-blowing. I mean, I know it's normal, it's nature, you know, it's supposed to happen, but it's a miracle. It's amazing to me how this egg that turned into my baby and into my son that I have, my raging 2-year-old, that egg was produced when I was in my mother's womb, and just like everyone else out there, which I thought was a very interesting fact. I just thought it was very, very cool. And what's really neat, though, is this book has, you know, a bunch of advice on, like, work, if you're, like, a working mom. I mean, and tells you what symptoms to expect. So I really highly suggest this book. I mean, it was kind of expensive. It was, like, $15, but, I mean, it's totally worth it. I'm really enjoying it. And it says, for your body this month, your uterus is a little bigger than a grapefruit, and your waist may start to thicken. By the end of the month, your uterus can be felt right above your pelvic bone in the lower abdomen. And this is a diagram of like how big, I don't know if you guys can see it very well, of how big the baby is in your uterus by the end of the 3rd month, I think. Sorry, the 4th month. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. And it tells you what to expect at your prenatal appointments and all that good stuff. So that's as far as the baby goes. I'm going to show you my little baby bump. And keep in mind, I am actually a little overweight. I may not seem like it, but my doctor said I'm a little overweight than I was when I first got pregnant with my son Matthew. So I have a little bit of a bigger belly just from having a previous baby. So let me show you my stomach really quick. I don't know wait, let me skip back just a little bit. Hold on. I'm kind of short. But yeah, my husband thinks I'm showing already. You could kind of tell. Yeah, I feel like I already look like I'm 5 months pregnant, but I'm very small. I'm only 4'11". I'm not very, I'm not very tall, so I mean I don't have as much room as someone who is, you know, obviously taller than me. But that is pretty much it for this video. If you have any questions or anything like that, please comment. I would love to talk to any of you guys about pregnancy, because this is my 2nd one. You know, it's definitely different than my first, like I said, but I've definitely had a baby before, so I kind of already know like what to expect stuff. So if you would like, please subscribe. You know, I love all the followers I can get, so we can all be together and be a community and, you know, be friends, you know, and share our experiences together, our past experiences. You know, I'm not doing these vlogs just to get likes and stuff. You know, I'm doing these to share my experience with the world, because I just love being pregnant, and, you know, I want to help other women out there who think that they're alone going through these experiences with their pregnancies and stuff like that. So please give me a message and a comment whenever, and I will get back to you. I'm pretty sure I would. So I mean, excuse me. Yeah, that's another symptom I almost forgot. Heartburn. That's been the worst. That's what's been making me feel so sick too, just the heartburn. But yeah, please leave me a comment. I would love to see feedback and see what you guys, you know, if you guys have any advice on how to deal with my symptoms that I've been having. Just, you know, message me, and I would enjoy, I would just love it if we all got together and, you know, did like a collab or something, like together or something, I don't know. So, yeah, thank you for watching, and I know this was like a pretty long video, which is probably, expect my updates to be kind of long. I'm still trying to get the hang of vlogging, so excuse me for my stuttering or my nervousness or whatever. So I hope everybody has a healthy pregnancy and hope they feel better if they're experiencing what I'm experiencing or more. I hope everybody has a good weekend. So I'll see you later. Bye-bye.